afternoon, everyone. We are all aware about the lumbar facet effusion and its association with lumbar degenerative spondylolisthesis and its diagnosis with dynamic radiographs, but its counterpart in cervical degenerative listhesis has not been highlighted very much because of the low incidence. And facet effusion in lumbar spine is a telltale sign of mobile degenerative spondylolisthesis. So, aim of the study was to trace the association between cervical facet joint effusion and cervical degenerative spondylolisthesis. We studied the retrospective review of cervical spine MRI and dynamic radiograph of 17 consecutive patients at the single institute between Jan 17 to June 18. And we included the patient with cervical myelopathy with radiographic evidence of CDS and excluded the patient with previous surgery, deformity, trauma, inflammatory arthritis, malignancy. Coming to the measurement part, a facet effusion measurement was taken perpendicular to the apparent joint line, and spondylolisthesis was graded according to the Kawasaki in 3 grades, less than 2 mm, 2 to 3.5 mm and more than 3.5 mm. A total of 17 patients were included. Out of that, 11 patients revealed listhesis at C4-5 level and 6 patients at C3-4 level. Out of these 17 patients, 10 patients revealed the facet joint effusion on MRI. And this effusion ranged from 1.6 mm to 4.7 mm. These 10 patients who demonstrated the facet joint effusion were associated with the listhesis with translation more than 3.5 mm. On contrast, the 7 patients with CDS and without facet effusion did not demonstrate the mobility of more than 0.5 mm. So, in our study, it involves the upper cervical level 3, 4 and 4, 5 mainly because of the progressive degeneration and stiffening of the lower cervical spine with age, and the recognition of this facet effusion on MRI should prompt the clinician to rule out the dynamic instability. As we can see on this dynamic X-ray, it is a mobile 3-4 C3-4 listhesis, which is on MRI it is getting relieved because MRI is done in extension position. Commonly patients present to us with OPD with only MRI and no dynamic radiographs, so it is wise to understand the features of instability on MRI. This is the same patient showing the wide effusion on T2 axial images, which prompted us to do the dynamic MRI, dynamic X-ray. In our study, the effusion was uniformly unilateral in all patients. This may be just one of the intermediate phase of progressive degeneration to gradual progression to bilateral effusion, and this effusion is a result of progressive attrition and erosion of the lateral masses. This effusion site can be an excellent host area for the bone grafting, and from surgical point of view it gets importance because we have to fix the contralateral lateral mass. Lumbar facet effusion and as a sign of instability has been widely published, but its counterpart in cervical spine has not been described well. So, facet joint effusion also has been considered the key factor for need for fusion in lumbar spine. So, this presence of mobile CDS may be masked and missed as MRI done in neck extension, and once you see the patient with a MRI which is showing degenerative spondylolisthesis as well as the facet effusion, you should be prompted to perform the flexion extension radiograph and check whether the segment is mobile or not. It is a single center study with a small sample size. So, large multi-centric study will add to our current understanding about this. To conclude the study, the current study does acknowledge the association of cervical facet effusion with cervical degenerative listhesis, and clinically measurable facet joint effusion on MRI suggests the need for further attempt to evaluate the patient. Thanks.